When the holidays start to feel a bit repetitive, reach for a Sprite Winter Spiced Cranberry and put your twist on tradition. A bold cranberry and winter spice flavor fusion, Sprite Winter Spiced Cranberry is a refreshing way to shake things up this sipping season. And only for a limited time. Sprite. Obey your thirst.
This episode is brought to you by NBA on Prime. The NBA on Prime is back with an exciting week of Emirates NBA Cup action. The knockout rounds begin with quarterfinal doubleheaders on Tuesday and Wednesday night. Then it's a semifinal doubleheader on Saturday. And it all culminates with the championship game next Tuesday night, only on Prime. If you're not a Prime member, sign up for a 30-day free trial to get started today. Restrictions apply. See Amazon.com/Amazon Prime for details.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. You're ready to move your business forward, but first, you need to find the right team. Start your search with Indeed-sponsored jobs. It can help you reach qualified candidates fast, ensuring your listing is the first one they see. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs are 90% more likely to report a hire than non-sponsored jobs. See the results for yourself. Get a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
In Walmart Newville, time was ticking away. Only a few nights left till the big holiday. But last-minute gifters had no need to worry. Walmart Express Delivery got their gifts in a hurry. From Nintendo to Nespresso and Lego Flowers, they could check off their lists in as fast as an hour. All of Newville, East, West, South, and North could order gifts up until 5 p.m. on December 24th. So this holiday, just do as the Who's do. With gift delivery this fast, they all gasped. From Walmart, who knew? Subject to availability, terms and fees apply.
Here's my 30-second story with Guinness. As soon as my sister and I get home for the holidays, we don't even unpack. We head straight to our pub. The bartender already knows our order, Guinness and fries. We laugh all night, catch up with old friends, and walk home with faces sore from smiling. It's one of my favorite nights of the year. That was my 30-second story with Guinness.
Guinness Draft Stout. Please enjoy responsibly. Imported by Diageo Beer Company, USA, New York, New York.
Right, let's do a very quick defensive section. And I'm going to just be honest on why I've been lazy this week. No, I haven't been lazy. Well, I've been lazy talking about the defense because I haven't had time to watch it all. When I previewed the Chargers, when I say the offensive line is as bad as you'll ever see, like it's rough. It's really rough. And I really struggle sometimes to judge how good you are when a team just has such an obvious weakness. The offensive line was a disaster. And the Chargers, that is. And on top of that, they got a QB who's got a broken hand. So he can't even really create the same way. So I expected the defense to dominate, and I'm struggling to give them too many of their flowers in some ways. Yes, they played very well. So credit where credit's due. But I really do think this Chargers offense was severely handicapped. But still, there are some things I wanted to talk about briefly. Do you want to do the interesting thing? Because if you're not on Patreon, number one, why not? We do a player spotlight every week where we watch. I mean, I don't do this. I do the preview. But Shane and Eric watch a player and just watch every single snap of him and record it. And it's really interesting because you always learn more than you expect to about other players as well. So from rewatching Jalyx Hunt this week, which is what the listeners voted for, what did you think of him and anything else you saw?
Yeah, so I did not watch the entire defensive film. I only watched the Jalyx Hunt snaps. And I was specifically watching him and talking about what I saw, but I didn't, notice things from other players. And I was pretty much just watching from the end zone view as well, because the coverages weren't as relevant to that video. I knew that the Eagles just destroyed the Chargers' lackluster offensive line. And so I just expected, as their leading sack getter, Jalyx Hunt, to have been a big part of that. He had 2.5 sacks, 5 pressures, 5 run stops. And I watched the game. And I think in the entire game, there was only one rep that I would chart as a decisive win for Jalyx Hunt as a pass rusher. He really didn't offer anything as a pass rusher. Now, what he did do and where he got a lot of his sacks were other guys getting pressure, and he did do a good job of recognizing he was past Herbert, and instead of continuing to try to run the arc, he would work back up field, and it would end up being where Herbert saw a hole and was trying to scramble to. So that's good from a gap integrity standpoint, and obviously it kept him around the ball. He ended up with 2.5 sacks. But as a pass rusher, I thought he was really lacking in this game. Every snap, he just tries to run the arc or he tries to bull rush through the tackle's chest. Like, I would love to see him. He needs to get some kind of counter move. Like, there was one time he tried a swim move, but start throwing a swim move more, work on a spin move, something, because it seemed like everything was just sprint around the corner or try to run through the tackle, and it just didn't work. So like I said, good job, gap integrity, working back inside, and all of this I talk about on that video if you want to watch every snap with me. I will say he was really good as a run defender. There was like 1 or 2 plays where he gave up contain on the edge, and one of them I was unsure whether Zach Bond was supposed to replace him. I'm going to guess Hunt was wrong, but I wasn't sure. Another one, I'm pretty positive Hunt just like tried to go inside and make a play and got beat to the edge. But overall, he was really good as a run defender. He had a good coverage rep where he was used as a dropper, but surprisingly, despite what his box score said, I didn't think he gave much as a pass rusher.
I feel like he might be the ultimate, like, the PFF numbers are really different to the film when you watch him.
Yeah.
Sometimes football's not complicated, and who pops when you watch a game? He rarely pops to me when I watch. And then, like, Jaden Phillips to me pops. There's a run play in this where he chased down backside, and he looks so quick. And I was like, oh, yeah. And then I go on the numbers, and I'm like, oh, PFF have Jaden Phillips with 9 pressures, all right, and then like Jalyx Hunt's got 5, but Jalyx Hunt's got 3 sacks on PFF, and like his numbers on PFF, and you're just like, wow. Then 5 stops Hunt had, but then you don't see it in the same way. And I think Hunt's perfectly fine. From what I still think he's far, far ahead of his development.
Yeah.
From where they got him. I will give you an idea of how bad I think this Chargers offensive line is. I think Byron Young had some good plays.
Yeah. Jordan Davis wrecked in this game too.
That's what I was going to say. So in terms of like things I wanted to talk about very quickly, and then I got to get out of here because I got to finish watching the defense, and then run out of BGN. So life is busy. In terms of the big picture takeaways and the 3 things I saw, the Cuba DeJean, unbelievable in the slot in this game. There is a rep, by the way, with Lab McConkey where he runs and runs a double move on Quinion Mitchell. And when I say Quinion Mitchell basically laughs him out the club, it's like Quinion Mitchell's covering a 5-year-old. And Lab McConkey's really good. And Quinion is literally like, I can't believe you're doing this. It's genuinely hilarious. Like how good Quinion is at the moment in certain reps. Big takeaways for me are 2 members of the secondary and a certain linebacker. I hit the 2 members of the secondary. Marcus Epps, could he have started this year? I don't know. He looked good. I'm telling you, he looked good. And obviously you don't want him to, but the Makuba injury looks a lot less painful with Epps playing rather than Sidney Brown.
Yes.
I'm glad I've held out because I've always loved Marcus Epps going back years. I never, ever thought the Eagles should have lost him. I think he's a bit like Blankenship and he's just a really good scheme fit. I think Adoree Jackson looks physically better than he's looked all year. There was a short pass that he blew up and he just came downhill, and I was like, that's a guy who's confident. There was times that Quinton Johnson ran him down the field and he was step-by-step with him. And I was like, okay, Eagles CB2 isn't a huge issue right now. He's significantly better than the others. And I think I watched him in the offseason and said I thought he was like... and said I thought he was still good enough to play. And then he started this year and I was like, wow, got that wrong. And now I'm like, maybe I was all right after all, because I think he is genuinely playing quite well for the last couple of weeks, and it may not last. But the other thing I wanted to mention was the Eagles need to get Nakobe Dean off the field in certain situations. And Dean had a problem in coverage last year. And whenever someone gets injured, they always come back and everyone forgets their negatives. You only ever talk about the positives. He was bad in coverage in 2024. There were times in 2024 I didn't like his coverage. His blitzing is like the best I've ever seen anyone ever at linebacker. The blitzing is unbelievably good, and I get why the Eagles want him on the field, but his coverage is poor.
Yes.
And it's not just poor, he looks a little bit lost.
He was responsible for that 60-yard play on the
He was indeed.
drive.
Last week, the Bears killed him with motion and misdirection in the run game as well, and I don't even particularly think his run game stuff was that good in this game either. So then you end up with a linebacker who's an unbelievably good blitzer, as I said, the best in the league at his position, but he's struggling a little bit with other stuff, and that makes you a little bit predictable at times. So I think the Eagles need to start going to a bit more of a timeshare and trying to get some more Campbell reps, because there are going to be times in obvious passing situations where I want to see Dean more. And that is all I've got to say. I don't know if there's anything else on defense that particularly stood out to me. Brandon Graham played a lot of defensive tackle. Fine. He was a body there while Jalen Carter's out. Nolan Smith still, to me, isn't popping post-injury. Again, just numbers are really good this game. 6 pressures, but again, Chargers offensive lineman just didn't pop on film.
Yeah.
So yeah, interesting. For me, it was a secondary that stood out. Even though the pass rush was unbelievable, I can't help but feel like that's part of a consequence of who they were playing.
Yeah, those two things often go together. Like, I mean, it's funny how when you have a good pass rush, your coverage looks better, and vice versa. So, I think so. Long term, let's end on this, Johnny. Long term, as in like the rest of the season, I think the Eagles' defense is going to continue to be good. Like, you're going to get Jalen Carter back. You've kind of fixed the safety 2 thing with Makuba out. So I think the defense has the potential to be really good. The lingering thing I'm concerned about defensively is defending runs from condensed formations, which they've struggled with. And by the way, like every other NFC playoff team does a lot. The Packers, the Rams, the Lions, the Bears, like you're going to have to face some of those teams in the playoffs if you were to make a run. But I think the defense is going to be good. It just all comes back down to the offense like we've talked about. And I guess I see individual things in the offense that I'm like, that's it. That's good. Let's build off of that. Let's get Lane Johnson back. All of those things. Let's use Hurts more as a runner in the playoffs. But with each week that goes by, I just become less and less confident that they're actually going to flip that switch.
And I think overall, I'm not saying I'm confident. Like I'm saying there is good stuff there.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, just lean into it more, and I'm squinting and I'm like, it's there. I can see you do it. Just do it a bit more. But yeah, who knows? I think we'll get a pretty good message in the next couple of weeks for the playoffs. I think we'll know pretty easily what they do.
Yeah.
Like, I want to see them beat down on the Raiders. I don't want to see a conservative game plan, like win by 3 because the Raiders can't score points. I want to see the offense really open up, but we'll see.
The offense is going to score a touchdown on their first 3 drives, and then they're going to park the bus and end up winning 21-17 after they go 3 and out 9 times in a row or something. That's the official prediction.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's kind of where I'm at. Like, I'm not a doomer that like the season's over. I still think a lot of the changes are easily able to be made offensively, and they don't require reworking everything. It's just if they're going to do it. And we're going to know, like you said, over the next few weeks, getting into the playoffs because you beat the Kenny Pickett Raiders and the Marcus Mariota Commanders is not going to impress me, but you can
still see how they want to play.
You can continue to evolve offensively where I can walk into the playoffs convincing myself, you know what? I think they've got a shot to go on a run. And so that's kind of what we'll be looking for over the next few weeks as we look at film. And thankfully next week is a Sunday game, which is like the first one in forever, it feels like. So we'll actually have normal time to prep, which will be fun. And we'll break it all down for you guys. But Johnny, before we get out of here, any final thoughts from you?
Oh, I think so. Let's just hope this team can lean into what's good, because it makes our lives a lot more interesting to see some new stuff. Maybe that's why I was more excited this week. I was just like, oh, something new. At times, on like 20% of the snaps were new anyway. The rest of it was same old.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, that is going to do it. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. I will have this episode up in Patreon later with the better layout and audio stuff and ad-free if you want to check it out there. My past game review is complete. It's the longest one of the year. I think it was like 48 minutes. I went through more clips than I usually do, talking through all the plays we talked about and quite a few more. Also, the player spotlight for Jalyx Hunt is out there. Johnny will have his preview up later this week. So come and check all of those things out on Patreon at patreon.com/EaglesFilmRoom. You can grab a free 1-week trial of any tier. We think you'll like it and will want to stick around. That really helps us out too, by the way. So thank you guys for watching. And we will catch you guys next time. Go Birds.
Oh, Hilton stay, oh, Hilton stay. Your beds are soft and cozy. No lumpy couch, no stiff futon, no shower line at crack of dawn. Oh, Hilton stay, oh, Hilton stay.
When you want holiday comfort you can count on, it matters where you stay. Enjoy comfortable rooms and friendly service when you stay with Hilton instead. Save up to 25% this season when you book with Hilton. Hilton for the stay. Terms apply.
This episode is presented by State Farm. Having insurance isn't the same as having State Farm. It's like needing the protection of an offensive guard on the football field, but getting an elementary school crossing guard. Sure, they're both guards, but you can only trust one to keep your quarterback safe when the game is on the line. So don't settle for just any insurance when there's State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
This episode is brought to you by McAfee.
Yes! Playoff tickets! Just need to click here and... Wait, what? Fake site? Good thing McAfee threw the red flag. That would have been $400 gone.
McAfee blocks risky sites so you don't pay for seats and other things that don't exist. Plans start at just $39.99 for your first year. That's cheaper than parking on game day. Learn more at McAfee.com/online protection.
The Hyundai Getaway Sales Event is on now with awesome deals on their most popular models, including adventure-ready SUVs like the Hyundai Santa Fe and Santa Fe Hybrid. There's also the stylish Elantra, packed with the latest tech, or go electric with the Ioniq 5 or Ioniq 6. Visit HyundaiUSA.com or call 562-314-4603 for more details.
As a contractor, I don't pay for materials I don't use. So why would I pay for stuff I don't need in my mobile plan? That's why my Biz plan from Verizon Business is so perfect. Now I can choose exactly what I want, and I only pay for what I need.
Right now, with my Biz plan, get our best price, as low as $25 a line. Visit Verizon.com/business to get started today.
New lines only. Price per month with 5+ lines. Includes auto pay and paper-free billing and promotional discount. Taxes, fees, economic adjustment charge. Applicable add-ons, prices, and terms apply. Guarantee applies to base monthly rate and stated discounts only. Add-on prices additional. Offers in January 5th, 2026.